Hello, my name is Kaeden Hearn, and welcome to my Spring 2020 University of Houston Intro to Women's Studies Introduction and Collage video. So first I'm going to start off by answering some questions. So first, my name is Kaeden Aramis Hearn. That's my full legal name. However, I will be changing it in the future and adding my mother's last name of Astorga to it, so then my full name will be Kaeden Aramis Astorga Hearn. My pronouns are he, him, his. However, for me personally, um, pronouns aren't that important to me. I uh, am okay with being called any pronouns. However, I do understand why um, some other people might have pronouns that they choose um, to be called by, and I support them in that. My reason for taking this course is that I am interested in this subject. I have taken a course under this major before, um, and while this is not my major, I was really interested in that. That course was Intro to GLBT History, and I really enjoyed that. And so when I saw that there was an Intro to Women's Studies course, I wanted to take that as well. An important object for me and why is this Winnie the Pooh doll. So, this Winnie the Pooh doll I've had since forever. I don't really have a memory of receiving it or not having it. Um, why it's important to me is that it's always been a source of comfort. Like, even just holding it now, I feel really nice. And but I do remember getting made fun of by friends, cousins, and sometimes even my brothers for having this doll and being so attached to it to such a late age. I remember one specific time where my cousin asked me when I was gonna get over it, like get over Winnie the Pooh, and I told him that I wasn't gonna get over it. And while I did have one time where I didn't like Winnie the Pooh, it was only to like fit in with other people, and since then I've gone back to caring for this a lot, and I have one with me whenever I study. An important woman in my life is my mother. She's actually pretty much the only woman in my life. My mother had 4 children. I'm number 3. We are all boys, and she has homeschooled all of us, sometimes while also working a job. And she's almost done with my little brother. He's close to graduation, and I just she's a very strong person and has always been eager to teach us about uh, systemic oppression on many levels towards women, towards minorities, towards people in the towards people in which and towards people in different communities, and it's just been something that's been very influential for me to grow up seeing. Okay, so then I'm going to explain my collage here. So the the things that we need to represent were feminism, sex, gender, the LGBTQ movement, and gender equality. However, I kind of went a little further than that. So first, we'll talk about the background. The background here is the it represents equality, and that's my basis for belief in all subjects, is that we are all equal and should be treated as equal no matter what race, sexual orientation, gender, sex, religion, anything. We should all be treated and be given the same opportunities as others are. So then here in the top left-hand corner, we have a Pikachu wearing a Black Lives Matter t-shirt. Um, so first I'll explain why I chose Pikachu. I chose Pikachu because, well, I like Pokemon, but also uh, seeing how in Pokemon that every different Pokemon, no matter which type or evolution or whatever, that they all have their own strengths and weaknesses. And that's kind of how like we are as humans, is that we also have our own strengths and weaknesses. It doesn't make us bad and it doesn't make us good. It just means that we are unique in our own way, and I think that's something that we need to spread more, is that we are each unique. And the reason that's Black Lives Matter is because in 2020, uh, the Pokemon Company actually donated $100,000 to the NAACP and $100,000 to Black Lives Matter in support of these movements. And so that was something that I really respected, is that this company was going to not only voice out their opinion, but donate to these organizations despite any backlash that they would receive. So next in the top middle are some Converse shoes. These shoes I actually designed and own myself. The stitching on it says together, and that's how I believe that any movement can be successful, is by banding together and by standing together, and that we should not be afraid to stand with others who share our own belief. And then next in the top left-hand corner, we have a prism that some light is passed through, and then a rainbow comes out. And this has to do with sexual orientation and gender identity. I believe that sexual orientation and gender identity are on a spectrum, and while a spectrum has limitless, uh, a limitless number of possibilities, that it's important to understand uh, some some labels and um, identities, so that we can gain an understanding, and then just be able to see that this is just a spectrum, that everyone's unique in their own way. But until we get to that point, some labels are nice. And then in the bottom left-hand corner, we have feminism is for everybody, and that's another thing I believe, is that feminism is for everybody, regardless of their sex, gender, sexual orientation, race, class, ethnicity, religion. Is that feminism is for everybody, everywhere, and that we should not be afraid to affiliate ourselves with that. And then in the bottom middle here, we have Your Voice Matters, and it shows a bunch of hands of different skin colors, and that has to do with that movie that we were required to watch, called She's Beautiful When She's Angry, and that there were a lot of moments where people of other races or sexes were silenced simply because they were associated with that race or sex, and also sexual orientation. But these people's voices still matter and need to be heard, because their issues are unique to themselves, but they should be addressed. And then finally, in the bottom right hand corner, is something that is on a completely different note from everything else, because it's negative, and that says no turfs. And I understand that saying something like no turfs is in a way excluding um, people from a community. However, these people are dangerous to the community. In case you don't know, TERF stands for Trans Exclusionary Radical Feminists. The most prominent one right now is J.K. Rowling, who has defended her posts on Twitter by saying that trans women are not women. There's a lot I could say about this. However, what I am going to say is that no movement can build itself up by breaking others down. That we cannot exclude one type of person from our own group without the possibility of other groups also getting um, expelled. And so yeah, that's it's a weird situation, because you want to say that yes, turfs are a part of the community of the feminist movement because they are women and they have the right to have their own voice. However, you cannot affiliate yourself with the group and then also be okay with excluding others from the group. Like J.K. Rowling, she came from a hard place. She's done a lot of stuff, and she has created this universe that is amazing. But she cannot use a platform that she built herself for negative purposes and to break other people down. That's not what feminism is about. That's not what equality is about, and that's not what it should be about. So this was my introductory and collage video. I hope that you enjoyed it, and if you have any questions or comments, please feel free to leave them down below. Thank you.